we have yet another speaker, a person who has an expertise in his field, having more than 30 years of teaching experience and 10 years as administrator. He's currently working in a CBSE school in Qatar where he teaches political science to senior secondary schools. He's also been conducting the activities for various clubs like Eco Club, Quiz Club, Disaster Management Team, Discipline Committee, etc. He aspires to establish a school culture and educational program conducive to student learning and socialization. His popularity among the students empower him with enormous courage to dispel the fear of failure in the young generation. I wholeheartedly welcome Rakesh Verma sir to be our next panelist. He is going to speak on social justice as an Indian constitution and is going to pick up recognition of special needs. We welcome you, sir, and the floor is all yours.
Good evening to everybody. Thank you, Rachna ma'am, Gurleen ma'am, all the speakers. Already much have been spoken, and I think I'm audible now.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, much have been spoken. I think I have short of words, but no, I will be dealing with society. I will be dealing with how parents and the teachers have to deal with them. For that, I can start my sharing the screen. Is my screen audible, visually seen?
Yeah, sir, your screen is visible.
Thank you once again, ABCD International, and thank you for giving me a chance. And the theme today is specially abled kids. When we see this picture, we only see difference in this child. We don't see that she has same fingers like us, same, she has eyes, she has the body which our children have. But we notice only something which is different, and then we prejudice and we stereotype these people as handicapped or as disabled person. But recently, 10, 15 years, we have now changed the word. It is differently able. It means that, first of all, we should not isolate them, we should not label them. They are part of our society. Number two, they are not different. They are like us. In fact, they are more than us. Their capacity, their quality, talent is par excellence. They bring laurels to the family, as shown in the Paralympics. They have more listening capacity if they don't have visual capacity. If they don't have visual listening capacity, then they have their kinesthetic capacity and so on. So first of all, we should not label them. We should not stereotype them. We should not be prejudiced to them. We all are equal. They are all equal, and therefore, no doubt, some are autism affected by autism or something. But the children who come to school now are now all admitted to normal school. We don't have special school for HGV child. We don't have special school for those who have visually impaired. In fact, I am a teacher of a visually impaired child sitting with normal 29 students. And he, in fact, is the most interactive child in my class 11, political science, humanities. He, in fact, is having recorder and he types in the braille form, the keyboard, and he is very punctual, very disciplined, even in online classes. What else can a child have? In fact, he will, I think, score more than our CBSE board has given them writer. CBSE board has given them special time, extra time. The CBSE board has given them, then they can type and complete their project. In this way, government and the board and our education ministry have helped them to come and become equal to us, if not more. This is a picture where you can see, we all know, but I just want to bring to the attention of everybody that this is the picture where we can see person is drawing with the leg, with the feet. She doesn't have proper hands. Now, as Mr. Mohammed Zubair sir has told, it's inclusive education. We have to have now including everybody. If I told you there is no distinction with visually impaired or having problem walking or cannot see, cannot hear, all have to be accommodated in the class. So it's called inclusive education. And the new education policy, which is being formulated and will be effective maybe in a year or two, has the same thing. What Rania ma'am has told, STEM. STEM also will be incorporated in Indian schools. I want to talk today about social justice. Social justice. Social means connected to society. Justice means to give, to remove the grievance, to make them feel equal, to make them feel not discriminated upon. In this way, social justice is mainly required today for the backward, for the women, especially in our country, and for these specially able children and the people. The three principles of justice are equal treatment for equal. Now, those who are like, we cannot compare banana with cherry. Similarly, we cannot compare a class 2 child result of performance with the performance of class 8 child. Or we cannot compare the performance of a village resident with an urban resident. We cannot say why he is not speaking English or why he is wearing clothes like this. So we have to give equal treatment for equal. Meaning is that those who are of same gender, of same age, same class, same community should be given equal treatment. This is first principle. Second, proportionate justice. Previously, in ancient time, the the person who was supposing backward, he had done some crime. Maybe he did not have food. He stole bread, so he was punished less. And the person who had money and if he stole the same piece of bread, he will be punished more. Same way, now also, the proportion of the given justice or when say punishment lies on the capability of the person. In this way, justice can be done. For example, a small child. I was in Calcutta. In Calcutta, what happened is it's automatically done. It's not by government. If a cycle is hit by a car, people will blame the car, even if the cycle has come in between. Similarly, if a scooter is being hit by a car driver will be shouted upon, or a car is hit by a truck, the truck driver will be beaten. So this was same like proportionate justice. According to the capacity and the capability of the person, if he has done wrong, supposing a learned person, if he abuses someone and who is illiterate, automatically learned person should not do that because he knows he's supposed to know how to behave. The third one is recognition of special needs. This is the topic of current today that we should recognize them and we should also. Now, when I was a child, I saw seats reserved for ladies and children. So I was little in Calcutta. I was little feeling I was standing. The whole bus was full of men and only few ladies, and the seats were empty, and no one was daring to sit there. I sat there. After few minutes, some lady came. I have to get her. No problem. But I was thinking, why lady and a child written there? Seats reserved for ladies and children. Similarly, now we can see seats reserved for senior citizens. Now, after some time in the metro, also we can see physically, especially able child person's photo is there. That means it's reserved for them. So this is the case where we should give them recognition. It's not that we are undermining them or we are becoming, sympathetic to them. No, since they are incapable or maybe they need special care, we have to accommodate. In counters also, railway counters, we have a special line for ladies or senior citizens and so on. And toilet also has toilets for special needs people. So This is one type of justice given to them, especially now India also has done. I'm talking about India. And in schools, in fact, we have also have the same arrangement. We have ramps, like Mohammed Zubair sir was telling. We have ramps, we have railings to hold on. In fact, in our school, there is a lift. Lift is only for them, or some people who are ill, sick. In that way, we have accommodated them. Now, this is regarding structure. In classroom, as Rani ma'am was telling and Vaishali ma'am was telling, we have done special care. Teachers have to be trained. In fact, I told you my class has a visually impaired person. We have to deal with everyone. And like every child is unique in form. We have to have differential learning. We have to see at the end of the day whether all have understood the subject or not. In this case, if it's a specially needed child, we have to give them notes. We have to supply. We have to talk to their parents. If they need extra, they can. Now, presently, WhatsApp has come. I am connected with them 24 into 7. And we have landline, we have uh, other facilities, email. So we are now at par with Oxford and Harvard University, where we used to hear that they have open textbook exam. We were very surprised. Open textbook, eh, how can they see and answer and all that? We have given them this during this pandemic, so we can see pandemic is a silver lining around the cloud. That means we have got some like today. Today we are talking to all in different parts of the world. We are all together in this platform where we are all talking and understanding and learning from each other. So in this way, specially need. If you see, we were also in special need because we were devoid of how to teach without physical classroom. So we are not stereotyped. We are not having any prejudice. No one has any problem with us. So why we will have problem with those people who are physically challenged, who have some uh, God gift, you can say, in a negative way. Our constitution has given us reservation for them, as we have as it has given for the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe for the backward communities, and especially I told you our education board also has given them to bring them up. So in fact, we are very much grateful to the government, to the education department for helping from the childhood to make them equal to the normal people. My disability does not hinder my ability to be considered equal. Now, this is the psychology of the child who sees that his or her neighbor is behaving differently. So he is thinking they are differently abled. He, who is having maybe one leg missing or visually impaired, he is thinking about us, that why they are behaving differently. So in fact, we are differently abled for them, for this physically challenged person. So like we think, they also think. So we should not think automatically, they will also not think. This is my belief. Now, something I am trying to tell you as a human being, as a normal human being, we should not do. We should not tell them brave and try to have empathy on them just like that. They are normal. I don't ask him anything. I am normal to my visually impaired student, and I don't try to give more importance to him or attention to him. No doubt, I talk to his mother or father in the evening, but nothing to make them think that why such attention is there. It's like an insult to them. It's like very cruel thing, strange thing to them. Similarly, we should not let loud negative also about them. Just like that, that they should not feel that they have something problem with them. We should assume that they are normal. We should not think or let them think that we are thinking that they are not normal. Same we should have. Similarly, don't we should not ask what happened. Is it you are having pain? Just imagine when we used to fall down and someone used to tell us, "Oh, what happened?" Just imagine the whole world was shattered in front of us. A small child. When someone says, "Oh, you fell down," he starts crying. It was not crying before. More you with attention, the pain starts. Or you can say the dignity is lost. Something wrong happened. Don't think that they are in need. They are not in need. In fact, with such an government facilities and everything, they are better than us. Don't give advice. Advice is very freely given. Never to normal person also, never to them also. And don't discuss about their disability to anyone. If it comes to their ears, they feel very insulted. Word is scattered about that. Disability is a matter of perception. If you can do just one thing well, you are needed by someone. This is the principle. These things I have incorporated in my life, and that's why I feel myself justified and liked by everybody. Now, if I think that they like me, my work is done. If I think that they don't like me, maybe they like me, automatically they will start disliking me. So similarly, a disabled child, if I behave properly, he will become normal. And if a disabled child or intellectually able child is by our action showed that we think that you are disabled or having some problem, he will start having problem. So better our perception should change. We should not treat anybody special. We should not treat anybody unequal. We should not treat anybody less than us. The only disability in life is a bad attitude. There is no disability. Special ability also I don't like. If we think special ability, that is positive. They have some quality in life that we can say. But special ability doesn't mean synonyms of physically handicapped person. No. Disability is in our attitude. Disabled, we are more disabled than other than. We don't have attention, proper attention. We have attention problem. We have distraction in our life. Those who are normal, so as to say, it's our attitude which is having disability. Now, only we think family, those who have like Vaishali ma'am was telling, those who have children, it's their responsibility, their bad luck, they have to deal only. Society is not bothered about it. Government is not bothered. Of course, government has come, and there are social organizations, and people are improving now. Especially in India, you can see people understanding the problem faced by the parents when they start creating differences among the children. I treat all children the same. I don't consider their disability an excuse, but rather a point of motivation. When you enter my classroom, you no longer see children with special needs, but a teacher who meets the needs of special children. I think every child is unique and every child needs me and every child is special. So where is specially able child? No, no one is specially able. If he is visually impaired, the other child is mentally disturbed. The third child is having some problem in his stomach, maybe some dysentery, diarrhea. Someone has bad mood. Father shouted at her or him. I may also have some problem in my mind. Principal has warned me, or I got a charge sheet. So everyone is in fact specially able or disabled. In fact, when I enter the class, for me, everyone is special. No one is specially able and no one is disabled. Parents of children with special needs create their own world of happiness and believe in things that others cannot yet see. Just parents, when they see a newborn child and they afterward 2, 3 years, 4 years, like the previous speakers were saying, diagnose the child that they are having some problem. Just imagine their world is shattered. It's obvious. Then they pop up and then they start taking care of the child and forget that it's different. Just think of their happiness. So why can't we? Why can't we change ourselves? Then they can change and they start behaving normally with the child. Children with disabilities are like butterflies with broken wings. They are just as beautiful as all others, but they need help to spread their wings. We as a teacher help them, give them more attention so that they also can fly like the other butterflies, like the other children. We only have to take care so that they come up. They have their special capacity. We as a teacher have extra burden and say extra duty, extra responsibility to help them, treat them equal give them more attention, not visually in the evening or through our extra care. It should not be shown to them in the open class. That also we have to be very careful. So training is must, as Rania was saying, STEM and all. We have to have good teachers, trained teachers. Special child needs love, guidance, encouragement, positive influence, and a life teacher. We are no longer teacher. We are facilitator. We are coach. What does coach does? England India match is abandoned today. Due to the coach having one of the coach having tested positive. What is coach? Coach is a person who's who is available 24 into 7 to the players. We are coach today. Parents are working. Both the parents are working. For normal child also, they are busy because the inflation, because of the problems in the society, economic condition. They are busy. They are not taking care. Nuclear family started. Joint family was there before. Grandmother, uncle, auntie used to take care in the absence of parents who are busy in the field outside the house. Now, no one. The child needs our attention. Even the normal child, I'm telling you, we are coach. So when we are coach to a normal child, why can't we a coach to a specially able child? It takes unimaginable strength to continuously endure, persist, and overcome. People with disabilities aren't weak. They are the strongest human beings you will ever meet. Now, I'm coming to the point. Specially able. They have talent better than normal human beings. These Paralympics have proved we got better than other normal Olympic gold. India got 30, 17 total medals. I'll just show you the next slide. Sometimes real superheroes live in the hearts of small children fighting big battles. They are the superheroes. They are small children but fighting big battles, which even the normal adults don't cannot imagine. Why we will undermine them? They are our role models. You should see what capacity they have. Until you have a kid with special needs, God forbid, you have no idea of the depth of your strength, tenacity, and resourcefulness. I tell my parents of those children that you have the best and the highest strength, tenacity, and you are most resourceful person on earth because you have to deal with such a problem. Just imagine. They don't know from the childhood, they have not seen anything, they are visually impaired or they cannot walk. How the parents have to take care. And everyone cannot keep a servant. I heard one parent told like, we cannot go out without him. We have to be in the house. One of us has to go. We can't take him openly to the market. So in that way, just imagine what suffering they have, and we label them, we sideline them, we discriminate them. What we are doing, what we gave to our country, zero. What they have given, 5 gold, 8 silver, 6 bronze. Normal human being, Indian, could not achieve so much. Now, now I have some examples where I can show you people with some special abilities. TV Wonder. I hope everyone has heard his songs. He was a blind singer. At the age of 11 years, he recorded his song and 30 US top 10 hits. I just called to say I love you. Best song from now in my life. Stephen Hawking. They were also children. Suddenly they did not become disabled or specially able. Quantum mechanics, black hole, Big Bang. Since Albert Einstein, most brilliant physicist. Sudha Chandran, she lost her leg. Bharatanatyam dancer. No doubt she was not a child when she was specially able, but ultimately, what wrong? Nothing is wrong with them. They can, anyone can. Muniba Mazari, Pakistani artist, singer. spinal cord injury. Now she's on wheelchair. She moves and does TED Talks. Came to my school. Finally, Nicholas James Buddhist, the most motivational speaker I have ever heard. Australian, without limbs. Just if you can permit me, I can show you his. I can show you his video if time is there. Ma'am, anyone? Swallowing ma'am, can I show video?
Sure, sure. I think Akash sir, that's okay if we let's show the video.
Two, 3 minutes because I have time, I think.
Sure.
I have no arms and no legs, but I'm very thankful that I have my little chicken drumstick here. People freak out when they see me for the first time. It's so cool. I was at a water slide all by myself. Everyone obviously at the bottom of the slide is looking up and waiting for other people to come down, and here I come and they're freaking out. They're like, you know, like this. And I was so tempted to look at myself and go, what happened? You know? And there were times where I sort of looked at my life and thinking, well, I can't do this and I can't do that. And you keep on concentrating on the things that you wish you had or the things that you wish you didn't have. And you sort of forget what you do have. And there's no point, I believe, in my life where I wish I had arms and legs, I wish I had arms and legs, I wish I had arms and legs, because wishing won't help. But what I've seen in life are just a couple key principles, and the first thing that I've seen is to be thankful. It's hard to be thankful, man. I tell you, when I was 8 years old, I sort of summed up my life and thought, I'm never going to get married. I'm not going to have a job. I'm not going to have a life of purpose. What kind of a husband am I going to be if I can't even hold my wife's hand? It's a lie to think that you're not good enough. It's a lie to think that you're not worth anything. Oh boy. Woo! It's freezing, I can't feel my hands. I love life. You know, so many people come and say, how come you smile so much? And I'm like, well, it's a long story. But it's very simple at the same time. You see, it's very hard to smile sometimes in life. There are things that happen that you don't know and you don't understand, and you don't know if you're going to get through it. You know, you go through your storms in life and you don't know how long this storm is going to be. And today I want to share with you some principles that I've learned in my life that you can use in yours. Being patient is beautiful. I tell you, it's the hardest thing. But I realize I may not have hands to hold my wife's hand, but when the time comes, I'll be able to hold her heart. I don't need hands to hold her heart. You know, it is scary to know how many girls have eating disorders. It is scary to know how many people are just angry at life because of their situation at home and angry at others. It's scary to know how many people actually feel like they're worth nothing. Every single girl right here, right now, I want you to know that you are beautiful. You are gorgeous just the way you are. And you boys, you're the man. On this DVD, I share my experiences in life of how I've overcome challenges and
It was such an insightful session. If I would have been, physically present, I would have definitely given you a standing ovation for giving us such insightful, but definitely you deserve a number of applause, sir, for giving such a valuable and insightful opinions about it. The most I like was giving the same platform to everybody. Everybody is equal. Everybody is the same. I loved it the most, for sure. And definitely the way you've talked about the perception. It is all about the perceptions. I always say in my sessions, it starts from here. It's all about what you think. It is what about you think, and you really present yourself the way you think it to be. So be positive, be kind, be compassionate, be generous. We all are one, of the same caste, of the same color, of the same creed. Children are still, they are God's angels. Think them to be same, perceive them to be the same. Everyone is unique. They all carry their own identity cards, and that is their personality. They have so much to give us. We even can't imagine about it. Thank you so very much, sir. It was indeed a delight to hear you, a pleasure to hear you. Thank you.